All right, everyone. We are so excited to have Lisa Richter here. Thank you for being here. Um, Before we get started, you know me. I am Coach Narit, the creator, the founder of FitWins, and I want to remind you that for every comment, every emoji, we are going to give Lisa $1 towards Amazon. We decided on Amazon.
Yep.
Just let us know if you're here live, if you're here on the replay, and just cheer Lisa on. Okay, Lisa, tell us who you are, where you're from. Tell us all about you first.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I am from currently live in Maryland, so close to you. I'm in Ellicott City, Maryland. And who am I? Uh, I'm a connector. I'm a mom. I'm a business owner. Former elite level athlete. Um, yeah, I guess that's probably the easiest, simplest way to say who I am.
Yes. All right. Well, okay. So tell us, you're so inspirational. You've helped so many other women. You've empowered and inspired them. So tell us where you were with your health, with your thoughts, with your mindset prior to starting the midlife makeover program.
Yeah. All right. So menopause. I was in menopause, which I still am in, right? But I was almost 4 years of conversations with you because we had been introduced. Still not going and doing it. I was in a place of it was April and my mama bear weight, I would call it, was not coming off. I always gain weight during the winter time. Don't like to be outside. I don't love the cold. That seasonal depression thing is real. And so I was frustrated and I was tired. And I was really frustrated because no matter how much I walked, no matter what I did that had worked in the past, I could not lose that weight. And I was sitting in the car, like just feeling frumpy and out of shape. Even a seatbelt felt uncomfortable. And I thought, this is just, that's where I was, not in a good place.
Yeah. I remember talking to you about this. All right, so let's kind of like jump gears and talk about your biggest wins since you started the program.
My biggest wins is realizing that my problem was not with weights. It was with what I was eating when I was trying to get in shape lifting weights because I hadn't lifted for many years. So my relationship with lifting, my relationship with the scale, and my relationship with food. And I was an elite level gymnast, but I was never one that starved myself. But what I've learned is that I didn't have a good relationship with food or know how to eat balanced and appropriate. I was training many hours. I could eat anything I wanted. When I wasn't training, I'd gain weight. And so you think about that yo-yo, it kind of carried me through everything. So the understanding balanced macros and how I am eating 4 times as much as what I ate when I started with you, but I'm in better shape than I have been in probably since I was 15.
That is amazing. And so this is really great, but let's start about talking kind of about the fear
Yeah.
when you started working this, because I remember there was so much fear centered around not only strength training and how it would make you bulky. Because I remember like that first conversation, you were like, I do not lift heavy. I refuse to lift heavy because lifting heavy makes me bulky. I know that for sure. That and fear of food. So let's kind of like talk about that a little bit, like what fears kind
Yeah.
of.
So that hits here. So it was I was actually at the time in the mindset of low weights, high reps, high weight, low rep. I was still bulking. And that was my experience through college, after college. But that fear and that so that was one of the fears. And then the other big fear was that I wasn't going to I was going to pay but not do the work. And I remember you not laughing at me. What kind of laughing at me? Like, well, why would you do that? And my response was, well, I paid to go to the gym before and I didn't go. So yeah, so I would pay and then not do the work. So that was my other big fear was I was going to make this investment because it is an investment. It is not cheap, but I would say it is worth every penny. But it was about the accountability, the longevity, and would it work? Yeah, those were my skeptical components, and they were very clear. They were very deeply embedded.
And how did the experience kind of like with that fear, how did your experience help you overcome that fear that, you would pay and not do the work and with the food, with the exercise, but with, holding you accountable.
Yeah, so the experience has been amazing. You and Sarah have been awesome. A great balance between push and pull and support. The group, the everyone really is in it to see each other succeed. All of that has just been awesome. And I'm a proponent that you never really overcome something, you move through it. And so what this experience is helping me do, because I feel like it's a never-ending journey, just like, my own business journey to Bloom is a never-ending journey of evolution. But you've helped make those uncertainties a little easier to trust the process because of it. So, during I started at 1 pound weights. I still remember they're these teeny tiny little weights. And now I'm at 6 pound weights and I'm like what, 10 months, like 9.5, almost 10 months in. And I'm only at 6 pound weights, but I'm down 20 pounds and my clothes fit me like I'm down more than 20 pounds. And my kids are like, wow, mom, you have muscles. My abs are coming back. And that's like my biggest thing, my stomach. So the experience has helped me overcome or move through and shift from I'm never going to get back in shape like I was to, wow, I can really feel good and look good and eat a lot. So I was eating almost nothing, but I kept gaining weight because I wasn't eating the right stuff. So this experience has really helped me understand how macros play a huge part, how the proteins, and even like my doctor will say sometimes you might need even more fat or you might need more of this. I'm like, more? Oh my gosh. But it's more of the right things and the balanced nutrition of understanding that you can eat a lot of things and this is not a diet. Like I think like I just want to just say this for like everyone out there. So many people have said like what diet are you on? My mom said, "Wow, the proteins really made your like face look good." Well, I'm also doing other stuff to take care of my skin. It's not just about the protein, but the perception is you have to change and follow something very specific. And I've always said like everything in moderation. But this experience has taught me what that means because I said it, but I never really understood it, which is why I was never able to get there.
That is so deep, and I can see like your mindset changing so much. So let's talk about like past experiences. Like, have you had like past experiences trying to lose weight? Could you like share how maybe this was different for you?
Yeah, so I've never done any diets, but like I'm just not like I said, I like to eat, I want to eat what I can eat, but I would past experiences, I wouldn't eat breakfast. I wouldn't start eating until like the middle of the day. And I know for some people there's intermittent fastings work. Like for my husband, it's working great. But for me, it didn't work. Like I was always hungry at night. I was snacking on chips. So I would just exercise more. I love walking. I don't run unless I'm being chased by something. So if you see me running, follow me. But I love walking. I love the outdoors. And so in the past, I was able to either do, and then I like kickboxing. So I had a kickboxing coach for a while. So between the kickboxing twice a week and out walking like a mile every other day, I was always able to kind of drop those 15 pounds of, my mama bear weight. But it always yo-yoed. But then in the summer I would still be eating the same things, but I would drop the weight. And so my experience was just always this this ever since I stopped doing gymnastics, actually even in college, it was always a yo-yo. Like I never had things under control, even through college. After I started getting injured, things just started changing. And so every one of my experiences before this was a roller coaster. It's never been consistent. I think when I first came and we were talking, one of the things I had said to you, and even talking with Sarah more recently, because I'm now in the reverse burn phase, and I'm like, you're gonna have me go up on calories and macros. How am I gonna keep my weight where I want it during the winter months when I usually gain those 15 pounds? And she just said, trust the process, like trust us. And she was letting me negotiate. We can go 25 calories. I'm like, no, I'll figure it out. Like I'll trust you guys because it's been working. Um, and that's the thing is like I finally gave myself permission to know that I needed experts like you and Sarah to help me understand what that balance was like. So that to me is that difference. I get to eat anything I want in moderation, of course.
Yeah.
Whatever I want, I get to make the choices that feel good and right to me. And I'm learning not to feel guilty when I overindulge on something and then not to shift the other way to create more of that yo-yo effect.
I love that. And I love the talking about like not to feel guilty and not to feel shame, right? Because there's no reason to feel guilt or shame about food or exercise or, that kind of stuff. Um, what was your favorite part of the program?
Mm. My favorite part. Uh, I think it is that there's no guilt, right? We can eat anything and do anything. Um, and I get gifted my workouts. So maybe that might be my favorite part because I can track the macros. There's flexibility within it. So there's lots of things like the flexibility within how we do this, how you meet each of us individually where we are and work with us. Um, is really a great thing about the program. So, you and Sarah are a great thing about the program. But I think that the flexibility
Yeah.
um, to do the workouts when I want to, but having them there in the app. Like, and I just can come home. I can do it from anywhere. I do it from home. I do it while I'm binge watching a show that there's 8 seasons of, and I'm never going to get through them, except that I spend an hour a day now exercising in front of the TV instead of sitting on my butt eating chips. I'm still watching the show, but now I get to do it and get healthier. And I think that's that the flexibility of the program and the way that it can fit your lifestyle wherever you are.
I So first of all, this is the last question. And so you said we've been we were talking for like 4 years back and forth, right? And that is very typical, like, in my world, in this world, because a lot of people, they have all kinds of feelings. They're scared, they're nervous, they're not sure it will work. So what would you say to someone like yourself, right, who's been following us for a long time, or even a new follower? They're thinking about pulling the trigger. They're thinking about doing it. They have like 20 or more pounds to lose, but they're scared. They don't know. They don't know about what this is. They're worried about like, will they have enough like communication with their coach? Will they know what to do? Will they just get a program thrown at them? Like, what would you say to someone who's really looking to not just lose weight, but really like a lifestyle who want to lose like 20 pounds or more? What would you say to somebody like that?
Yeah. Anybody that would want to lose 20 pounds or more and keep it off without having to, I have to eat this bar, I have to buy this product, I have to do this, I have to's. If you want a program that you get to say, I get to, and you have people that are going to meet you where you are, a supportive community of all women going through something similar or having been somewhere similar at some point in time, and just wanting to do something for yourself that you may never have done before that is going to be sustainable, supportive, this is it. The balance of how often to that Narit and Sarah lean in and ask questions, the weekly the meetings that we have, the group calls, you can show up. There's the recordings of them. There's accountability forms. There's if you don't do the accountability form, you just don't do it. You didn't turn it in. And if you don't track your macros, you don't track them. So the flexibility to make the program what it is and get the most out of it is really truly up to you. But what this program does is it gives you the opportunity to step into a fully formed place with all the scaffolding, all the boundaries, all the bumpers, all the blueprint in place, and move through it without guilt, shame, or judgment. And so, what I would say to you is don't be me, don't be Lisa, don't wait 4 years. I promise you, your future self will thank you for choosing yourself because this is the best gift I ever gave myself.
Lisa, I am so honored. Thank you so much for coming out here, for being vulnerable, and for sharing your story because you are going to inspire so many women, to just feel good about themselves, take some action. If you are listening to this and want to drop 20 or more pounds and keep them off for good, and you are ready to say yes to yourself, message us ready. We cannot wait to talk with you. Again, if you message us ready, you're not committing. We are just looking to see, have a conversation and see, if you are a good fit. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.